Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of HutchCast Live. This is HutchCast Live, episode 8. I'm your host, Zach Hutchins, aka the Gaming Hutch. Joining me this week is Tim, aka Marty McFly Hayes.
Oh, next one.
And Jace, the Ayatollah of the Controller Baldridge.
Baby!
What up, y'all? How are you guys doing?
Great.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Tim, you missed a good episode last week. Tyler jumped on, though, and replaced you, so it was fine.
I know.
We didn't need you. So, I'm sorry. That's rude. I can't start a show that way. I'm sorry. Let's restart. Hello, everybody. This is HutchCast Live, episode 8.
Is it really 8?
It is. It's already episode 8. Can you believe that?
Cool beans.
And we actually skipped an episode because we didn't go live during the Super Bowl.
Which we should have, because no one was watching the Super Bowl.
Right. We talked about that later, but I didn't know the Super Bowl would suck until, we were watching the game.
It didn't suck!
It was totally boring.
It was a defensive game that could have turned on any play in the game. It was a great game.
Fair enough. I don't think it's gonna go down in history as one of those.
That's fine.
Super Bowls that people.
It shouldn't have, but it was still a good game.
Yeah.
Yo, Zach. I know we live in a society where everything's the greatest thing ever or the worst thing ever. I don't need you playing this. There's a middle ground.
Yeah.
Meet me in the middle.
It doesn't.
Meet me in the middle.
Okay. Hey, I watched the whole game. I didn't shut it off. I actually stuck around to the end. I saw Cam Newton do his flailing at the end, which I thought people were way too mean to him for.
Silly Cam.
It was what it was. But hey, I want to bring up something really weird to start the show. It has nothing to do with entertainment news. But right before the show started, I made mention that my wife was not wearing clothes. Well, this is because she just popped into the room before we started, off camera, and she just got out of the shower. Well, we were talking about it right before the show started, me and her were, about showering when you were in high school. And, when you went for gym class, did you ever, work up a sweat enough to where you wanted to take a quick rinse, shower while you were at school? Or when you were in football and you had a Friday and it's Friday night lights, you're under the lights and you're playing a game. It's Friday night. And you have the full game where you're sweating and playing and bleeding and you're dirty. And you should shower after the game before you go out and everybody greets you and hugs you for the game. And you see your girlfriend and you see your other friends who maybe aren't on the football team. You guys didn't do meet and greets after the game?
Usually it happens the second the final, when it's over.
Yeah. Still on the field.
But the game goes over. You can see some people on the field, but then you go in the locker room, you shower, and you come out, and in my school, everyone would be hanging out in the gym. That's what right above where all the locker rooms were. So after the game, if you had a girlfriend, she'd wait in the gym for you. And you'd go into the locker room, take your pads off, shower, and then proceed up the stairs to greet everybody after the game, and then you'd go to an after party or you'd do something like that afterwards. But you guys never showered at school?
No. Not in high school. In middle school when we had PE in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I didn't have that in high school either. Well, Zach, I didn't play football. I did cross country and track. So.
And you didn't shower after practice of cross country before getting in your car and driving home?
Practice is cross country. You just run.
Yeah,
that's cross-country practice involves some sort of running.
And no, I would just get picked up or drive home, and then I'd take a shower there.
I don't understand what you're saying. So you're saying if you go to an away football game,
okay,
an away game, 3-hour drive, you have to take a bus, charter bus. You're on the bus for 3 hours.
Never happened. No.
Okay, say it's a 2-hour game away, or even an hour. An hour.
Okay.
Come on, give me that. So you get on your school bus because it's only an hour away. Mm-hmm. You drive to the game. You play an entire football game, and you're not gonna shower before you put normal clothes on and get back on the bus and drive home.
Usually you bring workout clothes to just change into.
You just wear something. Yeah. You take the pads off. T-shirt. You put the pads in the shoulder pads. You put your helmet in there. You use the shoulder pads as a bag with the jersey on it. You just fucking walk around and you wear shorts and the shirt. Everyone's stinky. It doesn't matter. Who are you showering for on the bus ride home?
No, they're fucking gross.
Yeah, at an
Give you a
away
handy
game?
J in
Where
the
are you
seat?
showering anyway?
The fucking away locker room.
I don't get it.
You use the other locker room at the school that you were at. Where did you change?
What are you cleaning for?
You're not going to show up to the game in full fucking pads. Like, you don't put your pads on at your school and then drive to the game and, like, you have to go somewhere to change. Where did you change before your games?
I don't know why this is freaking you out, Zach.
Because did you guys, like, all I'm saying is, like,
movie.
because
He was like, let's go take a shower, guys.
Because
Hey, guys,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. My point is, you never, like, I am going to shower before I put clothes on and then get back on the bus to drive an hour. Like, I'm just saying, you shower after sporting events. If I played basketball, you sweated the whole time. So after the basketball game, you take a quick shower, and then you go back up into the gym where everybody's going to greet you and say, hey, good game, even if you lost. And then if you have a girlfriend or your other friends or anybody's hanging out waiting to do something with you, you shower after the game so that you then go and you do something from there. I cannot believe you're telling me that in high school you didn't shower after sporting events. That
I can't believe you're getting so upset at the fact that we didn't shower. We go home and shower.
Yeah, you want to see your family and friends as soon as possible. So you just go to them right after the game, and then you all go somewhere, like probably home, and you change and shower, and then you go out. Boom.
Yeah, because guess what? They were in the stands watching you play basketball or football or whatever. They understand that you were out there being physical activity, sweating. So when you walk up to them after the game and they say good job and pat you on the back, they understand you're probably going to be a little wet because you're sweaty because you just played sports. They watched you do it. And then you go home, you take a shower.
It's true. It's true. It's like
I don't know why you have to get clean for these people that you know and you shouldn't. Who cares?
Yeah.
Immediately. Also, in football, our locker room, you have to remember, I'm from super small town, Oklahoma Panhandle, Tyrone, Oklahoma.
How many people?
My graduating class had 15.
How about you, Zach? How many people in your graduating class?
42 in mine, I believe.
My sister, 2 years before me, had 8. 9, maybe. Our locker room had 1 shower. And that was basically just because it was in there next to the toilet. That's it.
And Zach was there. Come on in, guys.
Don't take a shower with us.
Yeah. That is not even the point. It has nothing to do with snapping towels. It has nothing to do with antics. It has to do with cleanliness. And it has to do with the fact that everybody showered. Everybody showered. That was the point.
Yeah, we all showered when we got home.
No, nobody went home to shower. You probably would have got made fun of if you were the kid who put your fucking street clothes back on after the game.
You're making fun of me because I'm not taking a shower with you. You're mad that I'm not getting naked with you. Get the fuck out of here.
That is nobody got mad or anything. I'm saying.
Well, you just said I was going to be getting made fun of, so clearly it irked them in some way.
Yeah, probably because people would have made fun of you for being the smelly kid because you didn't shower after Friday Night Lights. That doesn't make sense.
But I went home and showered?
What are you talking about?
Stop. I can hear you yelling at them about not taking a shower, and I already told you that that's a normal thing.
She's wrong, too.
It's
and girls are weird.
Normal.
3 against 1. Who is wrong here?
Not me.
I'm
not wrong in this situation.
We still shower. It's just later.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but
I'm stunned. I'm stunned at this revelation.
People's shower relations.
What about other sports?
It's just so
weird.
What
about other sports, dude? Because think about cross country. Because we drive 2 hours to go to like a, in a way, whatever the fuck you call a cross country match.
A meet. It's a meet.
In a way, meet. We'd run, and then we get back on the bus and come home. We're not showering over there. You know what I mean? And we're still in our fucking running clothes. No one cared.
So
everyone's dirty. Nobody cares.
I only did cross country in middle school, and they did the same thing. They didn't provide us with showers, so nobody would have showered at that point. But I have showered.
Like lug around all that gear. That's like extra clothes.
I've showered at my school after games and after practice. I would shower after practice at school too.
After class. After lunch.
Since I was in 6th grade.
Finish practice and you just go home and take a shower.
No, you shower first right at the school. That's where the facility is. You have your stuff. You just shower right there. And then you put normal clothes back on in case you have to go do something else. I did a lot of activities in high school So a lot of time what would happen is I wouldn't go home after football practice. I would have school, and then football practice would happen, and right after that I would go directly to play rehearsal.
What did you title this podcast?
The division and genres.
I might want to change that.
We spent 15 minutes of talking about showering. Okay, I guess I'll drop it because you guys are just dirty bastards and
okay.
None of y'all fucking showered, I guess, ever.
I don't get. You're dirty.
We did.
We took showers. Just not with other people whipping towels.
Well, I never whipped a towel. Never once whipped a towel. Never once smacked an ass. Never once did any of that shit. You just get in there and you take your fucking shower. I don't know. It's so bizarre to me to think that you would get back on the bus after like an away football game in high school and you would drive all the way home on the bus as a nasty fucking dirty person.
Nobody cares.
Well, here's the other thing. Also, our girlfriends, our cheerleaders rode on the same buses as the football players too.
There's your problem.
So lots of the time, my girlfriend would sit with me on the bus ride home. So I'm not going to be gross on the bus. There's no way that would happen.
You have to like at least think that in almost every other sport in high school, that wasn't the common thing.
I think of the major sports. I showered after every basketball game. I showered after every basketball game.
Hockey, and water polo.
Like, yep.
The major sports.
I'm thinking after any of those sports, you would go and shower. Tennis? If I was on tennis
when you go home.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We've derailed the show. This is normally a show about video games and everything, and we're just not going to talk about this anymore.
You go to the park, right, with your friend Joey.
Okay, yes.
You and your friend Joey go to the park to play tennis.
Yep.
You go and you play tennis. You work up a sweat playing tennis at the park. The bathroom does
I already know.
The shower is inside of their bathroom facility. Do you take a shower at the tennis facility in the park? Because they have a shower there. It's provided.
Don't want to get in that car all stinky.
Wait, and this is some random public-ass shower, though?
It's a random public-ass school shower that you're saying.
That's a totally different situation because no one can just randomly go into high school and take a shower. You're talking about a hobos probably shower in the fucking shower you're talking about.
Hobos might shower in school.
I got a better one for you. Okay, Zach.
Yes. Okay.
On the weekends, I'll go to the gym to do cardio and lift weights or whatever. And then, are you expecting to like shower after that at the locker room there?
You don't have to. I wouldn't be weirded out if people do shower there.
They provide the showers for you there.
Yeah, you can, but I wouldn't. That's different. Also, I feel my biggest issue comes with the fact that when you're on away games and then you had to go sit back on the bus. And so for me, if we drove 2 hours to a game, I'm not about to not shower before I get back on the bus and put my normal clothes back on. Because we would dress up for games. You're dressing up for games. Chat?
I shower at my house after.
Boom, there it is.
It's another person.
Yes, 4 against 1.
Dr. Abs of Steel, I get it. Public showers. Nobody is going to shower at a public shower. That's disgusting. I'm talking about showering at high school. High
school's a public place.
High school is public, but adults aren't going down there to randomly shower. You're not going to have random hobos going into the high school to shower.
I trust hobos more than some of the people I went to school with.
True.
That's not the issue at the moment.
Some of those guys.
The issue. I'm just talking. Oh my god! It doesn't even matter. Can we talk about? Can we talk about? No. I was showering at school since 6th grade. That was just the normal thing. You played a sport.
Because you did PE in the middle of the day when you couldn't go home afterward. Everything else you go home.
You didn't have PE in high school?
No, we had physical education at the end of the day before practice if we had practice.
That's bizarre to me. Like I would have gym sometimes 4th period right before lunch.
Yeah, in grade school.
No, in high school.
It was an elective for us in high school to where we only had to take, I think, 1 year. We had to take one thing of like physical education. The rest of it was whatever. but most of us just took it at the end of the day because that's when they offered it.
So
can't
in
believe
my high school, you could opt out of one semester if you played a sport that semester, but you can't opt out both semesters of a year. So no matter what, you had to take a full semester worth of PE.
A full year worth in 4 years of high school is how we did it.
No, that means you only had it's once a quarter then.
What the fuck school did you go to?
A school that goes 2 semesters a year, which has 4 quarters.
And 2 semesters equals 1 year.
Yeah. And
4 years.
Out of that one... So I did 2 full years of gym. I did 2 full years of gym.
I'm saying at my high school, you required only 1 credit, which is 1 full year, which is 2 semesters of physical education.
Then what fucking high school did you go to that they didn't make you guys move around?
I think that both of you went to high
sports
schools
at the
that
end of the
nobody
game.
can relate to.
Yeah.
A class of 15 and a class of 42, give me a break. My class had like 200 people in it.
See, that's why I don't know why his is so different than mine. He had a small school too.
That's why I just don't understand that you could... I just don't get it. We're not going to understand each other here. We're going to disagree constantly.
Nobody's
This is the first.
you.
This is
No
the
one's gonna
first
understand
headbutt
you.
we're gonna have this show too. There's several more.
Yeah, I guarantee we won't disagree on anything else the rest of the show.
Hey, didn't the division come out this week?
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Are we going to talk about
the
video games?
The transition is you don't take showers with the other boys. The showers are divided. Speaking of divisions.
Hey.
Come on. Come on, man.
That was terrible. But okay, hey, let's start talking about something that's actually fun. So the division came out this week on Tuesday. All three of us.
As many times as you take showers, they gotta be fun.
I don't know. I guess we could start it off great in saying that sometimes I have more fun taking a shower than I do in the division.
Ooh, there you go. That's a good one.
That's actually
How about that? I feel cleaner afterwards.
Oh.
Because the division's a dirty whore.
It's bent me over and it's made me its bitch.
Well,
so
tell me why.
So good. So good.
Thanks for agreeing with Tim and Jace, Abs of Steel. That makes me feel great. Nobody's gonna agree with me, I guess. So, fuck me. I can't let the shower thing go. It's just pissing me off. Anyway, the division. So I started playing it with Tim. I've actually played a little bit on Tuesday after work, but I didn't play very much, and I didn't even play beyond where the beta was. On Wednesday, we finally hammered into it. Me and Tim played for almost 8 hours in a row. Jace, you've been hammering this game out. You've already hit max level for just standard level. He's at level 30 already.
I'm at 30 regular, 15 dark zone.
Okay, so I haven't jumped in the dark zone yet. What about you, Tim? Have you done any?
Not since the beta. Is the beta, or not the beta, is Dark Zone 30 as well?
Yes.
Okay.
The dark zone goes all the way up to 50.
Does it? I didn't know that.
Shit.
Sweet.
Yeah. Dark zone level
That makes
goes to
sense.
50.
That makes a lot of sense based on some of the stuff that they have in place for it.
Right.
Is there actual missions in there? I saw a side mission in there.
I think
it was
the side mission isn't actually to do anything there. The side mission's just to go to the dark zone.
To go in there, yeah.
So
fucking Fei Lao.
You get
Fei Lao,
you get 100 dark zone XP.
Right.
Nice.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Abs of Steel. We do questions at the end of the show too. We're going to move on, and we're going to start talking about other things. But save your questions for the end of the show. We'd love to have them. And Jason and me like to interject chat stuff during the show if we see it. So.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just throw it out there. I want to know what everybody thinks after the first week of play. So I'm level 22. Tim is level 20, I think, at least. And
19 or 20.
And Jace, you're at level 30/15. What is everybody's base thoughts on the game?
It's fun. It's great. I like it.
Plain and simple.
I like it more than I thought I was going to.
That surprises me. I thought you would have been the hater on this game the whole time.
It is definitely a Ubisoft game.
Oh yeah.
You can tell by Collectathon, which I'm not 100% behind, but that doesn't mean it can't be great because you don't have to collect the shit. It doesn't affect anything. You may get XP, but you can get that XP elsewhere. It's just something extra to do. I'm not going to weigh it down because it's not mandatory, so I'm not going to hold it against it. Shooting is pretty fun. I wish there was. I don't know how much different they can get because it's a more realistic setting. So I don't know how variants in the guns they could go. But once I get a new marksman rifle, I'm the happiest boy in the land because I fucking love the marksman rifle.
Yep.
But the fast one, not the slow one. I hate the slow, powerful ones.
Oh,
Bolt
really?
action.
Because I prefer them. I prefer those bolt action ones.
Do ya?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm stuck with
Here we
one
go.
right now.
I love
hate
them.
it.
I love them. That's my favorite guns in the game are the bolt action rifles.
Mine is the faster ones where I can do multiple
Yeah.
pop. Because
Like
I'm probably going to miss on the first shot, and I use it as an adjustment. So I
Sure.
can make an immediate shot
So
afterwards.
you use like the M1A and stuff like that. Like if you got an M1A, you'd probably be very happy. It like has a 20 round clip.
The one that has 300 in the
round.
middle, not 75. I don't know the names of any of this shit.
Because the names are generic and ridiculous.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't care.
Tim, what about you, dude? Let's hear.
Or my thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to hear base thoughts. Let's base thought it.
It's a lot of fun just because I've been able to play with like you, Alex, DJ, and Derek, and all them. But I don't see this game holding me for much longer than like 2 weeks tops.
I agree.
Which is disappointing
Which
because
is why it's great.
it's good, but I'm already kind of getting the locations all feel the same, and like you're doing the same thing. Which a lot of games you do that, but I mean they're able to vary up the location more than here. Here it's urban, you know.
Urban.
Snowy.
For sure.
It's
For
either
sure.
it's
Urban
either
snowy.
it's either clear or there's a slight blizzard happening.
Right. So it's a lot of fun, but I don't see it going much longer than 2 more weeks.
Sure. So I'm
Wait
just gonna,
until you get to the end. I'm just going to say that.
And I'm excited for that too, because like the end game is where I would think it should hold you. And actually, that's a question for you, Jace. The end game gear, is it that different?
I don't have any yellows yet.
Oh, there's yellow gear? No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
there's like
Four levels.
yellow legendary style stuff.
Yeah, there's legendary and high end. Legendary, or that's not legendary.
It has another name. I
Yeah,
forget.
there's another name for the purples, and then it goes high end, which are the gold or yellows or whatever. You're not gonna see any hint of yellow until you're 30. Not one smidgen. Because I was feeling the same playing it. I was like, okay, like I'm having fun doing it, but I feel like I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna be done. I might do Dark Zone for a couple times and I'm gonna be done real quick, which actually I don't have a problem with. But once it hit and it's like, all right, basically it says game on, like the game starts now. It's just like Destiny when you finish the story, and then that's when the grind and the real Destiny happens. That's what happens when you hit 30. It says, all right, you're at 30. You've completed. Remember how Destiny, everyone complained that it only took 10 hours to beat the single player. There's no single player or anything. Well, guess what? You do a 25-hour story, which I guess it depends on what you're doing in the meantime. You could probably get done a lot faster.
Or if you can call it a story.
Yeah,
There's a story there. I don't know what it is.
We'll get into that later. I'm going to come back to story. We'll get back to that.
But as you're doing it, and then you it's like, all right, here's your single player story. That's like if you bought Far Cry. Guess what? You play Far Cry, you collect everything, you do all the story missions, and you're fucking done. You know, you're done with the game. This is like, you don't care about playing multiplayer. You don't care about the Dark Zone. You're done with the game. Congratulations. You spent 20 plus hours playing this game. Is that not enough game for you? Well, sorry.
Most likely closer to 30 to 40. Even if you're only doing that, 30 to 40 hours.
I'm over 30, and I've spent literally maybe 2 hours of my 30, I don't know, 35 max. I don't know if it's that high time in Dark Zone. Only a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of that is story missions, grinding to 30, building my base, collecting stuff, all that good stuff. So it's just like that's why I really like it. It's just like any other single player, first person shooting Ubisoft RPG. It fits the bill. It's a single player game where you can play it with other people. That's how I look at it.
That was a lot of things you listed off. Ubisoft, single player, RPG, shooter.
Ubisoft has its clearly thing, and it's an It's a third person shooter. It's a RPG. Like I said, it's got that every element of any other. If this didn't have multiplayer, like you play multiplayer with your friends, and this is compared to Destiny so much, and Destiny was so multiplayer driven, people would not be so hateful towards like saying, "Oh, it's boring." It's just like any other game. It is another game, and it's fun.
Let's talk about that then. Let's talk about the fact that there was a very controversial tweet that Jace brought up. The tweet is inconsequential. Controversial between us. No, the tweet itself is inconsequential. Who wrote the tweet is inconsequential. It doesn't matter.
Why even bring up the tweet?
No, the content of the tweet matters.
The person does not.
The person doesn't not matter. I mean, it is a generic tweet, but the content matters.
I said I want to hear the tweet.
Essentially, what he said is, "I am having a great time playing The Division, and it's awesome. It's a great game, but single player fucking sucks."
Probably.
Paraphrasing.
I paraphrased the shit out of that.
But it's paraphrased, yes.
So
He said it's dreadful.
He called the single player experience dreadful. What's funny is I agree with him because it is not fun. Tim, have you played any single player yet? Have you jumped on and played one person?
I won't.
See, I don't want to either because it's not fun. It's boring.
I already know how repetitive it is, and so the only reason why I get on is to get because I have fun doing it with other people. You know what I mean? And I can do that hard difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to put it on,
you can turn the missions to hard. You don't have to play them on normal. You actually have other people that you're interacting with. You can use the skill set, so you can actually have a guy who's a dedicated healer who actually uses two of the healing spells instead of just everybody playing the heal zone and the turret, because that's what everybody's playing right now. Set up the heal zone, have your turret. That's all that matters.
It's awesome.
And everybody's playing that build, though.
Because it's smart.
It's boring. It's boring. That's boring.
Dominating games. I don't know about dominating games is not boring. It's fun.
It's not the fact that you're dominating it, man. Because
I found
when you get more people
okay, here's another fun thing with it. Because it's connected and you can see it. Here's another game I've been playing, like sub game. This is a sub game Jace has been playing.
Okay.
I see what my friends are doing, and I'll go there. And I know they're in groups. I've done this with you guys, and I try racing you to see if I can finish before you.
What groups? What game?
Just friend. I saw you and you two. I don't know who your teammates were.
It's probably
but you
Alex.
guys were in Armist's apartments. The one in the upper west side. Mm-hmm. You're in a hotel where it's on fire, and then you fight on the rooftop.
Okay.
But you guys were in there.
It's like every level, but whatever.
I said, I'm going to race you. And I went inside, and I met you guys, and I saw it, and I stand right next to you, and I passed you, and I beat it. And I was like, I did that by myself.
Yeah, you might have done it by yourself. But we probably had multiple people, and we were probably playing on hard. So
no, you weren't.
Yeah, we were.
If we were doing a mission, we were playing on hard. Because we've only played missions on hard. When we are playing, we only have played on hard.
Okay.
Every mission, because there's no point to play it on normal. It's more fun when you can get 4 people together and put it on hard. And then it's legitimately difficult to get through.
I won't say that's not more fun, but it doesn't negate the fact that single player is fun also.
I've tried to play it a little bit on single player, and to me, it's not fun at all, actually. It's really boring.
Well, here's what I'm worried about, because at the end game, you reach level 30, and Jace, you're saying that's when the game starts. And I'll get there. I want to see that. But then after that, what is there? Because
they've already updated the map, and there's another place on there that says this is coming in free DLC coming soon.
Right. So Stitches just said, welcome back, Stitches, by the way, to chat. After playing the beta, I canceled my pre-order. Now, I wouldn't have canceled my pre-order after the beta, but
Because it's not the same.
after seeing us play, though, you're not getting anything different from the full game, really, than you are from the beta.
Getting a bunch of perks that make it play differently.
Yeah, you are. You're getting perks and you're getting talents.
Perks, abilities, stats,
and
talents.
That stuff is fun, don't get me wrong, but it's not
a bigger dark zone to play around in. A higher level gear that's more fun to use.
That's true. It's like playing the Destiny beta as opposed to playing endgame Destiny, which is a completely different game.
Because if you got access to like all the upgrades and stuff like that in your base of operations in the beta, you could run through the same beta missions like 10 times while you're upgrading everything, and that'd still be the same experience as the main game. Because every single mission's the same. Tell me one that's not. Yeah, it's like we're gonna go.
Which I'm fine with, because it's all set in a realistic environment. So I'm like, they can't. Space aliens come down and start shooting laser guns and explosions. It's not the setting of the game. That's not the setting of the game.
All right. Well, I wasn't bringing aliens in here. Like, the only thing I'm talking about is if you're going to have like repetitive like play style, which is fine. So it's like third-person cover shooter. The only thing that gets me through it is the story, where it's like I want to go through this to see what happens next. A cutscene will happen where it's like, holy fuck, let's go to the next part. And then it's like the same mechanics, which is exactly what we're doing here.
It's fun mechanics. Mechanics will hold me forever.
Okay, but we need to move. We need to talk about the real issue, though, and I think that is the story. Because let's talk about the biggest thing that people had with the Destiny story is it was a piece of shit. It wasn't good. Nobody really liked it. I am at the end of the Division, pretty much. I have only a couple missions left. I'm level 22, so I think I have 4 missions left up the right side of the map. And that's all I have left to fully unlock all of the areas of your home base. So essentially, I'm very close to rolling credits, beating the game, if you will.
Mm-hmm. It pops up, it says in game. So.
I am really sorry, but I don't know. I don't know. The story. It is inconsequential. I couldn't tell you anything of what's happening. I could have told you what was happening in Destiny, but more than I could have told you what's happening in this game.
Yeah, they unfold the story, maybe not even the real story, but the happenings of it. They give you a lot of environmental stuff through all the kind of like Grimoire cards. Destiny did Grimoire cards. Division does that with all of its intel and whatnot. They give you a lot of like the build up and what people are doing and like the impact it had on people and the fallout that happened and all this stuff, but it does take collecting all that stuff, but I'm on record saying I don't give 2 shits about story if the game is fun. It's the same thing with Destiny, it's the same thing with this. I just don't care and it doesn't matter.
The Destiny story was so much more entertaining than anything that we've gotten from the Division.
So that blows my mind, Jace, because single player, for me, it has to have a good story if I'm just doing single player.
Exactly. If it's a multiplayer game, that is the focus. And what's crazy, you're defending the single player side of this game, and then I feel like you're on the opposite side of the fence when you're talking about the long term of the game. How can that be possible? You've played mainly single player, right?
Mm-hmm. I've played a total of 5 hours.
And you're the one talking about the longevity of the game when we've played mostly multiplayer.
Like I said, there's more after 30, which is fine. But the thing is, I'm fine with it just being a game that ends. I don't care. It's fun what I got out of it. There's more to it to unlock, and I'm going to do it to unlock. If I have friends who say, let's jump in on Dark Zone, guess what? Dark Zone is fun enough. It's grown on me. It's pretty good.
I'm excited to get into it. I actually can't wait to play it a little.
Yeah, the tension of it is even more now that shit's on the line, and it actually matters.
Yeah.
The tension in Dark Zone is pretty fun. Like I've enjoyed the time that I put in it, and it probably doesn't hurt that I've died a total of 1 time in my 2 hours of play in there. So, but I agree. There's not going to be longevity in this unless they start adding stuff to it. I agree. I 100% agree. But guess what? I've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games. It had a start, whatever, and then an end, and I'm fine with it. I paid money for it. I got it. I got that out of this game. I don't care if it ends and I don't have anything else to do. It was fun for me. I enjoyed this more than I liked Far Cry 4. I did not finish Far Cry 4. I finished this one. Like, it's fun to me.
Sure.
Because I don't care about story. It doesn't matter.
I like what you're saying. I guess maybe a lot of people were hoping this is going to be the new Destiny. A lot of people were hoping this is going to be the game that was going to be the Destiny killer. This is the game we're going to be playing for the rest of the year. I was expecting
what we talked about earlier.
And I was expecting this to be the game that we played for a year, and it's not going to be that. This is going to be a game that we play for a month. And then
I went in with expectation chart. Here's the graph. Here's people's. Here's mine.
Yeah.
I had next to 0. I canceled the pre-order and pre-ordered it on Monday afternoon because I was like, fuck it, I'll go ahead and do it because I remembered I had a $50 cert from some promotion that they had, so I bought it for $2.
Oh well. Oh, nice. I don't know. I feel like there's a bunch I want to say about The Division, mainly because it is not everything I want it to be. It's repetitive. The gear is not. Even like once you realized what the gun types actually were,
it's repetitive. I don't understand that argument.
Every game
is repetitive.
You're right, but that's why I haven't wanted to play it single player. So the reason I'm not really complaining about its repetitivity yet, because I've only got on really to play with my friends. So it's not been a thing where I'm sitting there combing the city. Now, if I were doing what you're doing, which I currently know that you're sweeping the map and you're getting all of the collectibles. That sounds like the worst thing.
It's not very fun. This isn't fun. Like I said, I'm only stalling to go into the Dark Zone. I'm getting this out of the way because if I don't do it now, I will probably never do it.
I looked at the Platinum and I was like, this Platinum is going to be easy.
No, it is. It's all from just playing the game, except for this collecting thing. It's going out of your way to collect. Everything else is just playing the game.
That might be true, but like the slag that's going to happen, the amount of like how much it's going to suck to go through and you have to get every collectible in the whole game.
130 cell phones.
Every single one.
Like 290 items. It's pretty awesome.
No, man. That makes me think of the Assassin's Creed shit where I would methodically. It's
Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's a Ubisoft thing, and fuck it, I can't do it, man.
No, that's understandable.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to. I'm with you.
I don't want to do it, but I'm doing it.
Well, do we have any?
That's how I know that I don't hate the game. That I like it because I'm like, well, fuck, I'll do this stupid ass monogamous thing or monogamous thing.
Monogamous
thing.
Yeah.
Polygamist. But yeah, I'll do this because I like the game so much. Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's definitely in my top 3 of games so far this year.
So vintage.
Maybe top 1.
Vintage. 9999999 says, if you don't have a valuable story, what's the point? What does the game offer that another game doesn't, especially if other games go above and beyond with their stories? Now, I'm going to argue a little bit with you, Vintage, only because...
It's a weird point.
Because, yeah, I get what you're saying. If it doesn't have a story, what's the point? That's not necessarily always true. Like, look at Shovel Knight, which had a story, but the story is nearly inconsequential to the actual game. And the gameplay is so amazing. Everybody should play Shovel Knight because it's amazing.
I always say, I do not know the story of Mega Man. Mega Man is my favorite game series of all time.
There's no story to Mega Man. Dr. Light made some robots, and Dr. Wily took them over, and Mega Man blows them up. Who cares?
I think you guys are doing apples and oranges here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just because like games like that, it's more like skill based and like
this is shooting. It's skill based.
The Division is not skill based. I mean, you could argue that. You could argue that, but I mean,
shooting games are skill based.
I guess, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like compared to like a platformer, skill based as far as like timing, coordination. The Division's not about. You could say it's about timing and coordination, but more it's about tactics, which Shovel Knight and Mega Man aren't.
Mega Man is totally tactics. You run into a weird place, you're gonna get mowed down or die.
Mega Man is more about memory than it is about tactics. Mega Man isn't about knowing your level. It's about knowing that it's like
those challenges. Tell me it's not about tactics.
I think we could argue this all day. Honestly, I think we could just sit here. We could argue about this shit.
I agree with what he was saying though, because like the story is what makes the repetitive task bearable for me. Because yes, every game's
and here's the deal.
repetitive.
Here's why Destiny
funny.
is not as repetitive as something like The Division, and it has to do with setting. At least you're on Earth, then you're on the Moon, then you're on Mars. You're going underneath areas. Then they release other stuff. It's areas. So that's true. But in this, there is whole times where you set a waypoint, you can't fast travel, and I spend 5 minutes running through a snowy road where every once in a while I have to. You can fast travel if you have that area unlocked. But if you're running
if you go to the safe house, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're running to a new safe house, it could take you 5 minutes to run there because you got to stop and randomly fight some bullshit guys.
That's any game.
But the setting's always the same.
You have to get to the checkpoint before you can fast track to the checkpoint. That's any game ever made.
I know what you're saying, but I'm comparing it to Destiny, where in the fact that in Destiny you had repetitive tasks and the missions may have been repetitive, just like in The Division. But in The Division, you're going from safe house to safe house, and the setting constantly stays the same.
That's why I'm fine if it ends. I agree. I told you going into the game, during the beta, I'm already tired of snowy buildings. I said that during the beta.
Yeah.
I am already tired of snowy buildings. The setting, when gameplay trumps setting, trumps story, trumps sound, trumps fart sounds in the game. I don't know. Gameplay is king, and it's fun to me.
And I would think Destiny would be like...
Then why are you having a super good time with The Division when it's having glitches that you've currently experienced? You're having trouble with a collectible.
I just got that glitch as I was talking to you.
Yeah, but the cover system is still a little wonky. It's still a little just...
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it's clunky.
But when I shoot somebody in the head with it, it's fun.
Okay.
I like sniping.
But the gameplay is not perfect by any means. It plays like a Ubisoft game, which is half broken. You said gameplay is king.
Gameplay in general is king.
But the gameplay in this is only mediocre.
It's fun.
It's fun with other friends, but it's not fun
if
you're alone.
It is fun with other friends, but
it's not fun if you're by yourself.
That's all subjective.
It is.
It is all subjective. 100%.
You're right. I just don't want to run around by myself in this game at all. And also, it's a game that I feel like we're going to beat it. I'm going to get to level 25 in the Dark Zone. I get a feeling I'll play probably to level 25-ish in the Dark Zone, and I'll probably be at that point just done, too.
My biggest thing is I don't really know what I'm playing towards. Because with Destiny... You're trying to get, like max out your class, subclass, and then the weapons you get, you have to put stuff into to unlock like their better perks. Mm-hmm. And eventually, like the old end goal was like the hard raid to like have the gear that you was good enough to go in there and do that. Well, here I know you're supposed to try and level up, get to the higher levels.
The end goal is to have the best gear to dominate in Dark Zone, and then be able to dominate the rest of the game. Which is why at the beginning of this, at the top of the subject, I said, dominating a game is fun. That's why I grind within the first 4 hours to be unstoppable in Final Fantasy games. Because I like to just dominate the game. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
A Final Fantasy game and this game to me are just different things. I don't want to try to dominate the Dark Zone. Stitches said, so the three of you can agree that the game will probably last about a month.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if people aren't playing it.
And you know what? I think Stitches just I think Stitches just put a really nice little exclamation point about talking about The Division. It's not going to last. It's not going to last very long. Subject. And don't get me wrong, we have actually had fun. Me and Tim have had a great time playing this together. Tim, have I not been the person who's like, man, I'm having a great time. This has been so much fun. I'm loving this. Like, I've been annoying probably about like how happy I've been playing it. But then I turn around and I think about it, and I sit down, and I'm like, well, there's not very much left, and I come to this. But if I go and play it again to finish the game, like we're probably going to do at some point, we're going to finish this probably together, I'm going to have a great time finishing the game. But I love the fact that it's because I can have a build, and then Tim has a different build, and Alex has a different build, and we're all working together, and we're actually taking advantage of the mechanics of the game as opposed to everybody. Like, I've played with my other friends, which I know they don't watch the show, so I'm going to kind of talk about how it's not nearly as fun, but I played with a couple of my other buddies, and we all three had the same skills equipped. We all used a turret, and we all had the medic heal zone. And that's what every single person played, and it wasn't even as fun then.
In Destiny, did everyone who had it not equip their Galahorn and use it all the time? Whenever
I don't know because we didn't have the Galahorn until that.
Icebreaker was OP. Did everyone not use Icebreaker all the time? Was it not
skills? Not weapons.
It's the loadout. That's what he's complaining about. Everyone uses the same loadout during the game, so there's no variation.
My argument is too that
he's not talking about marksman rifles. He's talking about like your skills, your perks, and so like in Destiny that would be
used to beat the game.
Shield, like the shield or what the fucking bubble.
Because Tim always played a defender, and then at the beginning of the game, I was always playing a striker, and then we had Alex who was playing a completely different class, wasn't he? Right. Or I would go in there and I'd be playing my warlock, and Tim would be a defender, and Alex would be a striker and his titan. Like we had variations in what we were doing. Everybody has different grenades. I know in this game it has more variation on those types of things, but
there's lots of variations.
There are. I don't know. I guess we could sit here and just argue about it a lot. I think the game is pretty divisive.
Ha!
Grown.
I liked it. A+.
Let's just move on and stop talking about the Division. I know so I guess we should talk about what's everybody been playing this week. Jace, you played the Division. Tim, you played the Division.
Division and Gun Bros.
I played the Division, and I've still been playing Pokemon. So that's about it.
Pokemon at night.
Cool. Yep. Let's move on. I want to talk a little bit. This is going to pertain to the Division, and it's still going to be about video games.
Yes.
But so this is actually a discussion that comes from the Division, and it's a big reason why I've been thinking about this, because I want to talk about just genre today, and talk a little bit about my favorite genre of video game. My favorite genre of game has always been the JRPG. And until I started replaying Pokemon Red this week, I thought that was probably always going to be true, and then I realized that that's not even true anymore now. Because it's not my favorite genre anymore. Even though it's my favorite games to go back and play are JRPGs, my favorite genre is not that anymore. Because JRPG is talking about a very specific type of RPG, and it barely exists at this point. Barely any games come out new that fit that bill. And it ties into the Division, because what would you guys even classify the Division as? We've talked about it as an action game. We've talked about it as a third-person shooter. We've talked about it as an RPG.
Third-person RPG open world?
Yeah, it's open world. At this point, do you feel any game really fits in one genre anymore? Like,
no.
How can you possibly say you have a favorite genre anymore when games don't have genres anymore?
Like I said, when we talked a little bit before the show, like I said, I don't think I've ever had a favorite genre.
Okay.
Because whenever I think of my favorite games, they all intertwine, and there's Mega Man, which is a action platformer, and then Final Fantasy is a JRPG.
Yes.
And then Mega Man or Mario is a platformer.
Street Fighter is a fighting game.
Elder Scrolls is an open world RPG.
See, Elder Scrolls is when you start getting confusing. That's too
based on world. Does it?
Because that could be an action game. I mean, you're fighting. It's technically an RPG, but it's an action game at the same time because it's in real time.
Action is usually. I know I'm sure you can find something, but I always associate action as just like a subcategory. Like, I know, and it usually gets put first. I don't really know. Action RPG, action adventure, action. I don't know. But I've never heard of someone just call a game an action game.
Okay. Maybe that's true.
Time Crisis?
It's a shooter. I mean, no, I guess not, right?
Action shooter?
I mean, like, wouldn't that be a shooter? I know you're using a light gun, but...
But yeah, definitely genres are mixed a lot these days. And I think it's just the developers looking for different combinations that's going to catch somebody's eye. Because otherwise, people are just going to say, oh, this is just another fill in the blank, like shooter. This is just another Halo. This is just another Call of Duty.
Right.
they have to do something significantly different, and I think what got Call of Duty on the map was it did multiplayer better than Halo did, and that's when people were like, oh shit,
It really did do
multiplayer too.
but it really did do that too.
I know, but I'm saying they had to find something else to separate themselves from Halo. Otherwise it's just another shooter. Because it wasn't until Modern Warfare, and there was already Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3. I think there was a 4. Maybe 4 was Modern Warfare.
4 is Modern Warfare.
Either way, they had other ones, and we knew about them, but nobody gave a shit until they're like, boom, now we have multiplayer online. And everyone's like, oh, shit! It's different.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's just them looking for different combinations that they can do that work together. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and it just keeps building on itself.
So can we make a comparison between genre and gameplay? Because I feel like, to me, as I've been thinking about it, that gameplay really defines to me the genre of a game.
Gameplay and mechanics required in the game define a genre.
Right. So when
sometimes visuals.
So how does The Division feel as a genre to you? Because we were discussing this, Tim, and obviously it's a shooter, but there are moments of that game that, my God, it's so RPG. It is so RPG. Yeah. Even when you're in the middle of action, and you're like waiting essentially on your turn, because I'm just waiting for him to pour his clip out because he's suppressing me, and before he then reloads, it actually feels at moments like an RPG. There are moments where I feel like I have like XCOM flashes in my brain of like we're all moving in sequence, and then maybe that's another reason why I have fun when I'm playing in a group, because when we all move as a unit and we all are going to the right places, it's like XCOM in real time. Like it's really fun. That's really fun to me. I feel
like that on single player is I'm like, all right, I'm gonna. I see the guys, it's all in real time, but I'm shooting them, then I'm moving, and I'm using my turret to move them to somewhere else to where I can get a better shot on them, and then I move over to get a better angle. So it's all tactical. It's tactical movements on it because it's all cover-based. So you have to get an angle to where you're not going to get shot, but you can shoot them.
Right.
And so tactical RPG, third-person open-world shooter.
See, that's just too many things. It's hard to define that game.
Do you have to define it, though? Is that
I don't know.
Is that a thing you have to do, though?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I don't know.
Nobody does.
Like, sometimes, I guess maybe I've also just been having this feeling of The Division is trying to do a whole bunch of things in that game, but it doesn't do anything great. Not one thing in that game is perfect. Is great. It's a good game through and through. Everything is just good. There's not one thing the game does great. The shooting is not great.
It's not as good as Destiny.
The cover system is not great. The loot system is not
shoddy, I agree.
Great. The gun system not great. The skills.
Loot system's all right.
The way the drops work is fine, but the guns themselves are not. They're generic.
That's all I need.
It's
I have
constant.
A sniper rifle. I have a shotgun. That's all I use in any game.
But,
I use
but at
scout
least
rifles,
shotgun?
sniper rifles, and shotguns. That's all I use in games. So that's what I have.
But at least in Destiny, when you got to high level content, it becomes like named guns, and it becomes guns that people can start recognizing and caring about. I'm never going to be the person that's like, oh, I got that orange M4467 that I put my compressor mod on, and it was so good, and I was doing really great.
The only reason I know the Destiny names is because I played with people, and that's all they would say. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I used to call it like Infinite Sniper Rifle.
Sure.
And fucking electric hand cannon.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about the names.
That might be true, but what I'm saying is at least Destiny Destiny it made it a little bit more memorable. That's why the Division's going to fall to the side.
Have you seen or looked up anything with the high-end weapons?
No, maybe they do have names.
You know that they're not? I mean, because on maybe Destiny, not. The yellow, the blues, and the whites, which are essentially the blues, the whites, the greens, and the blue, which is essentially what you've been exposed to only so far, those weren't named.
But we knew about them because when Destiny first came up, you knew. But you knew there's exotics out there.
I did. I didn't know their names though.
I didn't even know that there was yellow class weapons before you said it right now.
Okay.
So they're not really
fun surprise.
So I guess there are actually named high-end weapons in the division.
What?
There are.
You don't say.
So,
hey, Zach, I think we can all agree on one thing the division does really well.
What's that?
Makes me happy.
Neck tattoos.
Neck tattoos. Neck tattoos! We have to talk about that. It's the only thing they gave you options for. Obviously, everybody in the division was required to have a neck tat.
That's so funny.
It's the one thing. That was the shittiest... That character creator was just fucking awful. It was so bad.
I was prepared to spend like 30 minutes to make a good character. And I was like,
I'm fine with that though too.
But also, I was just like, oh man, I guess that people who wear earrings don't like sunglasses because you can't have both.
Not in the division. Manhattan won't allow it. Not in this day and age.
No way. You definitely can't do both things. Earrings and sunglasses, you're just going too far, neck tat.
Maybe it's a division requirement. Like whenever you sign up to be an agent with the division, they say, all right, do you have earrings? And if you check the box, they're like, well, sorry, buddy.
The amount of scars they could have done. There's like 4 scars, and they're all like things that have totally mangled your face. And like, and then like
character creation's pretty.
There's like 4 of them, and then there's just like, holy shit, neck tats. Okay. Oh, we're gonna give you 3 choices for eye color. You have for eye color you have pale, you have pale green, you have pea, and you have white. That's what you get for eye color. But we have 37 next. The eye color was technically there, but you couldn't even tell the difference.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying. I felt like I picked the blue.
So fucking funny. It doesn't even matter. The eye color, it doesn't matter. And then
because you just see the back of your head the whole time.
Even looking at other people's, like when you look at somebody else's created character, there's no way you're going to see their eye color.
I don't play with people. I don't look at their characters. Remember?
Oh, I guess you never go into safe houses either. Where other
I don't look at anyone in there. I go in, I do my business, and I leave.
What if you saw a fine ass lady in there?
There's no fine ass ladies in there.
That's because the character creation sucked.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Set me up.
You couldn't even give her long hair. Like,
I don't know.
Like all of the girls, there's one girl that has like a messy ass ponytail. Other than that, it's just like they don't even have hair. Obviously, they just wanted you to wear hats the whole time.
Maybe it's an division agent requirement. Maybe it's in one of the intels. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the division story. I don't pay attention. Like I said, I've gotten more story this morning picking up computers and letters and drones and all that shit than I did in my 30 hours of the story. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's actually move off video games. Tim, you had something you wanted to talk to about this week. What I don't remember what it was though. What did you want to talk about? Tim, what's your topic for this week?
Well, I'll keep it short since we're towards the end here. But I read this morning that the PlayStation VR event on the 15th is the closed door. So they're not going to have any live stream or no Twitch stream, nothing like that. So they're just bringing the press in, shutting the door, showing them whatever they're showing them, and then they can go out and report on it. So it's going to be a wait till after the fact, which is interesting because you'd think if they were going to, reveal the price and then the date, they'd want it to be live. But then some other people are saying that, it's possible that the demo, they couldn't really, there's no really good way to show a VR demo. So the best way is to bring the press in, shut the door, have them have like hands-on experience with it, like over breakfast or lunch or something, and like kind of like that. I don't know, smaller kind of grouping, something like that. So
sure. You don't get the moment. That moment, the reveal moment. This has to be bad news. It has to be bad news for the price. That's what I'm saying. It has to be. They don't want the reactionary moment. It has to be bad. It has to be bad news. It's 600 or more.
I think it's more
600 plus.
They're gonna have a guy on stage wearing a mask. experiencing this when everyone else is just watching, going, "Oh, look at this motherfucker."
Yeah, I get that. I get
And
what
that
you're.
last
I get
PlayStation
what
VR
I get
demo
what
was
you guys
so
are
bad.
saying. I get what you guys are
Yeah.
saying.
With the
that
little
way.
discs, the
Yeah,
Tron
that was
world.
awful.
That wasn't
Ugh.
good.
I can understand why they wouldn't want to do it on that stage setting, but you had a whole event for it. You set the event up so that you make it work, man. You figure it out. Because like the big thing is that like E3 they had, or was it PSX, to where that
It's
was that
E3.
it was E3 that it was just, it looked like garbage. They're trying to do that Tron game. It looked like shit. Well, that's because they're at E3. They're having to share a stage with somebody. You have to go. You set up quickly. This is
And
something where you're.
they only worked on that for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're talking about something where you have a situation that you're in full control of because this is your reveal event. You make it work. I as a consumer who loves this kind of stuff, I'm very disappointed that I can't watch it. I can't see the momentary reveal of when it. I want to see the full unit. I want to see the box that's going to go on the ground. That is like the other thing. That's the power supply and the GPU or the CPU that's actually going to help power it. I want to see the full contraption. I want to see them reveal what are going to be the big games that are with it. I don't want to have to go to IGN and have them be like, here's a list of 5 games they said are going to come out on release day, and here's the price. I don't. That's not how I want to learn how it was revealed. I wish I could watch the event.
You have to think about it like this, since it is VR and it's new. They probably want to control as much as they can, and this is the first step. They probably will have reveals, sometime in the future. But for this, I don't know. I don't think you can reveal it the same way you can regular video games, since it is immersive.
Okay.
Because it just doesn't look as fun when you're looking at the screen and you're seeing it move around. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool, and the guy's actually doing it.
The stories that I've heard of people experiencing it have been worth more to my mind share and my excitement than watching people trying to use it. It's hearing their experience, and so if they're coming out and they're able to they have to put thought into what they're putting, because I assume they're not allowing like tweets and shit during the show.
It hasn't been said, so I'm not sure. I doubt it.
But either way, like I said, I have no problem with this. I mean, I love these shows too. I like watching the reveals and whatnot. But there's really nothing that they're going to be able to reveal to you, because you're not going to be able to experience it.
If they have any announcements that are game related, they haven't revealed a lineup.
They'll be on a list.
Yeah, but come on, like that's when you can go and you can kind of reveal, like, here's the killer apps. This is the reason why you need to buy this thing. This
and then
is the
you
reason.
go to YouTube and you watch trailers for them.
Come on, you can't tell me that, like, if E3 just happened and you just saw news things afterwards, that it's not like you watch Nintendo Directs live.
I watch everything I can live.
I know, so like how could
earlier,
why would you not want to see this live?
I do want to see it, but it's not my decision. It's not my company.
So you're not let down in any way?
No. It's their company. If this is how they feel like they need to do it, just like I was sad when Nintendo stopped doing live events at E3. I said, oh shit, that sucks. But they're like, here's this event. And guess what? The directs are awesome because they're direct and they're exactly what you want you to see. Nintendo knew what they wanted to do with their stuff. We assume that they know what they want to do with their stuff. It's their direction. It's what they want to do with their promotion and marketing. As a consumer, I care. As a marketing person, I care. But I'm just like, that's what they choose to do. I'm going to get the same information. It's fine. I just want the goddamn device. That's all I care
But at this point, Nintendo Direct is different because it's Nintendo making a video that you watch. This is literally Sony just being
it's live, but not being
Sony being like, hey, we're going to show these people our shit, YouTubers and fucking media outlets, and guess what? We're not going to talk directly to our consumer.
But it makes sense why, because they have to have them.
They're using outlets to then talk to their consumer when before they're talking directly to us. They're talking to their hardcore consumers, as opposed to now they're going through people because Sony is not showing us anything. Outlets are showing us something.
Thing that they're putting out.
PlayStation 4 was a new thing.
Nobody knows. No, that's a game console that they've had.
This is essentially a console in and of itself.
But Zach, you have to experience
Have you used VR before? Have you used a VR
No, but
You're playing a game.
but it's an absolute game changer, so it doesn't matter if I've used it or not. It's going to cost us it's cost the same as a console.
What better way to get the first message out than bringing all the big players in from the media outlets and YouTubers, having them actually experience it, which would take a while. I don't think you'd want to live stream that. It'd be boring.
Well, yeah.
Because you'd probably have different groups, in their own little booths or whatever. And then from there, they write their piece and do the reveal. So then it's
and then at one time, all of them reveal this information going, holy shit, this is awesome. Every site saying it, instead of going, I only go to this one site, and I'm watching, oh, dude, I think you're dead on, Tim. Yeah,
because it's it'll be more powerful than watching Sony reveal it and some idiot standing up there doing Tron 2.
And fucking it up.
And at this point, I go to the media outlet that I go to on a regular basis, and I see the person that I respect from whatever journalistic perspective, and he's got his first-hand review. It's okay, that's cool.
Fair enough.
Just because it is.
I had to argue with you guys on this at least a little bit.
Absolutely. Like I said, I see it both ways. I can see the upset because I would love to see it too, but I just feel like with it being a new thing that 98% of the people, you've not experienced it. We don't really know how it feels. We can only speculate. And them just being able to control the message and the timing of the stuff coming out is only good for the hype and the anticipation for it. I don't know. I feel like they've done research on why they have their reasons why they're doing this. They're not just doing it fuck you, PlayStation fans.
No.
This is a shot at you. Eat shit.
I agree. I obviously agree with you, Jace.
That's extreme.
This is very calculated. There's a reason they're doing it this way. They want to reveal it to us this way. I mean, there's obviously good reasons behind it. I will not back down, though, from being a little disappointed that I won't get to have that moment. Like that moment when PlayStation 4 pricing was revealed and it was the shot in the nuts at Microsoft. And
you will have that moment.
Not really.
It's going to come out on tweet and it's going to say $500 and you're going to go, oh, or you're going to go, cool, when it's $300 or whatever.
Seeing a tweet's not as fun as seeing someone announce it.
I'll announce it.
Well, maybe their tweet will be them announcing it.
Maybe.
And then you'll see my tweet on your Twitter wall going, what?
Right.
And then you can go shower, Zach.
Yeah, I'll shower after that. Well, hey, just to the chat, if you guys want to queue up any questions for the end of the show, we're going to start winding the show down. We would love to take some chat questions. We're probably going to be live, I would say, another 5 to 10 minutes. 5 if you guys don't send any questions, 10 if you do, as I burp into the microphone because I'm awesome.
Yes.
Lone Star, baby.
Anyway, this has been Miller Genuine Draft Night after I drank my whiskey drink. As I'm representing the High Life sponsors. Wow. Hey, actually, we have a sponsor now for our podcast. And I should probably start doing a sponsor read for it because they're nice enough to be our sponsor. So
you should make them write one for you.
I should make them get on that so that I actually have something to read. But we will have a sponsor later. HutchCast Live now has a sponsor. Thank you guys.
A sponsor, and we're still not on iTunes.
Oh fuck! I know. I don't even know what to say about that anymore. I've just been, my life has just been too crazy. I'm gonna wait a little while, see if people can queue up any questions for us. I know Dr. Abs of Steel said she had one earlier. I hope she's still in the chat here. Jace, you just got a new tattoo. My God, I'm stuck on neck tats.
I got that neck tat.
Oh shit. Jace got a new job. So congratulations, Jace. You started your new job this week.
It takes 40 hours away from video games. I hate it.
It does, but all of a sudden you got money and you can keep your apartment.
But now I have money and that counterbalances my happiness.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that keeping your apartment is probably for the best.
Dude, I ate Fuzzy's tacos on Tuesday for the first time this year because I had the, I have money. Oh my God, it's so good.
Fuzzy's Tacos? What the fuck?
Yes. It's a chain, and it's like street tacos. They have like these fish tacos, but I had spicy pork quesadillas, and they made these new items called jalapeno caps, and they're just like seasoned fried jalapenos. They were so good.
Well, I saw you tweet out a picture of it, and it made me very jelly.
Oh, totes.
It was. I was just like saw that, and I was like, God damn it, Jace. I was like, so.
Dude, you don't know how excited I was. I was so excited.
Vintage said, please don't sponsor MGD or High Life. Well, obviously, we're not going to sponsor anybody. We take got no money, but they would never sponsor us either. Although I do enjoy Genuine Draft.
I used to sell some of that stuff to some of my stores in my old job.
Well, and then Daddy Hutch, who is, yes, my father. Thank you, Dad, for enjoying the show.
And sticking around the whole show.
He enjoys the show. He actually thinks we're funny. I don't know why, but for some reason
we were a little less funny on this one. We were a little more spiteful.
We were a little salty tonight.
Salty?
Yeah, there's a little salt getting rubbed in wounds.
Nothing wrong with some spice in life.
Daddy Hutch asks, who's your favorite little rascal? Because he wants you to say Spanky. It's obviously it. He's baiting you.
Buckwheat.
Buckwheat? I always say Froggy.
I don't really have one.
Doesn't matter. It's a stupid question.
I'm going to say Eddie Murphy as Buckwheat on SNL.
Eddie Murphy as Buckwheat. Is that supposed to be the same Buckwheat?
It's, how SNL does their...
No, but is that supposed to be the Buckwheat from Little Rascal?
That's just a parody of... Yeah, it's...
I never put that together. Never once.
Because he says, "Oh, Tay."
God.
He says.
That puts a lot of perspective right now into what Eddie Murphy was doing. I did not get that until right now. I am an idiot.
The Mexican food came out fine, I believe.
You believe? Have you got to it yet?
Had any problems.
Then it wasn't real
that
Mexican
was the thing.
food.
I had some belly problems during the week.
Oh, hey. All right.
To where once I got to work, I didn't work at my computer for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you took a shower.
I actually took this last Monday off because last Sunday I'm pretty sure I got food poisoning at a food truck in Austin.
Yes.
Oh, big surprise. Little roach coach.
No, man. It was at a brewery. There's this really awesome brewery here in Austin.
Brewery?
Anyway, it's this great little place, and their beer is great. And then we went out, and there's a food truck that's out there, and they do these burgers. Well, I ordered a burger there, and they served it to me, and like the outside was done, and it looked like it was fine. You bit into it, and literally the middle was raw pink raw. Like touching it felt like fucking ground beef that you still had bought from the store, like hadn't touched heat, cold, raw.
Are you drunk enough to eat it all?
Well, what I was, yes, technically yes, because what I did is I took the burger and I used a little stick and I took out everything on the inside and I only ate the stuff that was brown.
You hollowed it out?
I hollowed out my own burger and I proceeded to eat it because I was starving.
Then you stuffed cheese in there.
I didn't need to. There was enough other garbage on that burger.
Never have
I put a fried egg and bacon on there, and also the bacon was undercooked and way too chewy. Everything was just undercooked. And needless to say, Monday, I was not in a shape to work. I didn't work on Monday. Sorry, boss man. I mean, I obviously called you and told you I wasn't going to, but yeah.
Did you tell him why?
Yeah, of course I did. I gave it to him in graphic detail.
Ah, yes.
That's the way you have to be with your boss. If you can't be graphically detailed about your excrement, then you don't have a good boss.
Oh, dude, the ladies in my office, they were trying to give me heads up during yesterday. Oh, sorry if we're saying stuff that might offend you or whatever. I'm like, you guys will never say anything that I either haven't heard or I will be offended
and
by.
They immediately started talking about periods and menopause, isn't it?
I said, please try. Because they were talking shit on people and just cussing, and I'm like, whatever. It's fun. It's relaxing to know that they're not so stuck up.
Yeah. Vintage. You said the product came from a truck. can't trust the quality. Not always true, man. Austin is known for really amazing food trucks, and you can go to lots of ones that you can eat at a million times. You'll never get sick. I've never been to this one. Austin is known for having great food trucks. I just trust that.
I think the thing here, though, is from a food truck, there's a higher chance than
True.
when it's not from a food truck.
I guess.
Just because.
You're right.
You guess, okay.
You're right.
All right, buddy.
You're right. I mean, I paid for it, so what can I say? I'm not going to eat a burger from that place anymore. That food truck is crossed off my fucking list.
Can we go back real quick? Did you really use a stick you picked off the ground to haul
It wasn't
out?
an actual stick. I actually used a toothpick.
Okay.
I used the toothpick that came on the top of the burger to hollow out the burger.
A stick.
Gotcha. Nice.
But it's technically a stick. It's made of wood. I don't know.
I guess so.
But
Or an
no.
artificial stick.
Well, this has been a great show, guys. I think we went, we're 15 minutes over time. I think we should just wrap up. Hold on.
Good,
Okay.
because we were already an hour late, and I haven't eaten yet, thanks to
Marty McFly over here thinking he can go back in time. So great little story.
Savings time. Give me a break.
Great story before we leave. Tim lives in Arizona, the only state that does not reflect daylight savings time. And
isn't Indiana or Illinois one of those?
really?
No.
I don't
Really?
think so. I'm pretty
Way
sure
too
Arizona's
early.
the only one. If there are another one, I'm sorry for your state, but obviously Arizona's cooler, I guess. So Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time. So last night when it switched over, Tim didn't realize that he is now 2 hours behind us instead of only an hour. So he did not show up for the start of the fucking show, and we were texting him, and he's taking a nap. So yes, he woke up.
Sunday nap, motherfuckers.
He woke up and combed that perfect hair of his just in time to start the show an hour late. So
that's right.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was pretty sure that it was only Arizona.
I know.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here this week, Jason, Tim. I do appreciate it. You can find me online. I'm Zach, aka The Gaming Hutch. Find me on Twitter at The Gaming Hutch, Instagram at The Gaming Hutch. Obviously, you're right here on Twitch at The Gaming Hutch.
Hutch.
This has been HutchCast Live. Tim, you're not really on the internet. Where can people find you if they want to know?
Just on PSN, Sneaky Protestant.
Go find him and bog down his friends list. Jace, where can we find you online?
At Jace Plays Games on the Twitter and on the Twitch.
Yay, on the Twitters and the Twitch. And I thought you had an Instagram. Are you done with it?
I don't plug it because I haven't even posted anything on there in like 3 weeks.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's us. That was Tim, Jason, me. This has been HutchCast Live, Episode 8. We'll be back next week.
So play their division.
Thank you guys for coming
yourself.
and watching.